that. William Yarwood is with me. He's a spokesman for the Taxpayers Alliance. William, if Donald Trump sues the BBC and they pay the money out, obviously that's their fault, but it's our money.
Yeah, completely. It is our money, but like you said, it's the BBC's fault. If they didn't want this to happen, then they shouldn't have done it in the first place, should they? I mean, the hilarity of all of this is they thought there'd be absolutely zero consequences for doctoring Trump's speech and splicing things together. Not once, but of course, twice. And like you said earlier on the show, you know, people have been waiting for months and months and years for them to apologise for this until it's come to this point. So in a way, they've actually only really apologised because the president has threatened them with this action. If he hadn't have done, they wouldn't have apologised, and they'd be sitting on their high horses and going, oh, well, this is our editorial decision. They're only doing this is because they're scared of what actually might happen, which is going to have to give over £1 billion to the President of the United States.
Very true. And when we get to a situation where so many people are thinking about their licence fee, a number of our viewers and listeners don't pay their licence fee, don't want the BBC, don't want to see what they say and broadcast, I just wonder from your perspective at the Taxpayers Alliance what your view is on the licence fee itself, because it's coming up for renewal. We've got the Royal Charter being renewed in a couple of years' time. What should the BBC actually be? A subscription service? What do you think?
Yeah, our view has been pretty simple since the beginning of the Taxpayers Alliance in 2004, which is to basically scrap the licence fee in its entirety, especially considering that, you know, people have gone to prison for not paying the licence fee. We think that's pretty disgraceful. We believe in the scrapping of the licence fee. There is an argument for some level of taxpayer funding for like international services. There's some argument for that. But my view is generally it should be run across a subscription-based system because, look, Peter, most other, you know, things that people watch, Netflix, you know, Disney Plus, whatever it might be, run on subscription-based services, and they work. And if the BBC is so confident in its, you know, creative prowess and its position as a broadcaster, okay, open itself up to the market and let's see how many people actually subscribe to
But
the BBC.
how would the market work then with things that are there because nobody else does them, like screening Parliament, for example, or children's television, which is not really commercial news? It's hard to make money from news. Sky News, for example, has never made a profit in its entire quarter of a century that it has existed. Do you not think that there are certain things the BBC does that need to be there because they're not there anywhere else?
Yeah, like I said, the international service it provides, I think that's definitely has an argument. I think the BBC Parliament thing is also a good point, but Parliament does, of course, you know, record them themselves, and you can go onto the Parliament website and watch the live streams yourself.
I often do because I'm a total loser. Yeah.
Same with me, Peter, I'm afraid. Two peas in a pod there. But yeah, you can, there are some things it needs to do, sure, but that does not mean £174 of taxpayers' cash should be forcibly given over to the BBC every single year. Speaking
of taxpayers' cash, I just wonder if we get your view on the income tax U-turn from Rachel Reeves. This is chaotic.
Yeah, it's completely chaotic. Obviously, just for the record, I'm glad that she's reversed back on this because that's going to hit ordinary taxpayers, of course, the hardest. But the most scary thing, really, is actually she's going to do something as stealth raid instead on tax thresholds, which at the last budget she said she was going to unfreeze. And actually, when she was Shadow Chancellor, consistently criticised the Conservative government for keeping in place. So yeah, it's a complete and utter mess, and it's making the gilt markets go up and down, and obviously making ordinary taxpayers wonder what she's going to actually do. But that's the issue. That's what Rachel Reeves seems to do. She seems to trial out things with the media and the public, and naturally when she gets a bad response, she immediately U-turns on them. It just seems that she's doing her budget basically by public opinion, rather than actually doing what is right for the country, which is getting spending under control.
William, thank you. William Yarwood there, spokesman for the Taxpayers Alliance.